Hello everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to Citrix monthly webinar for August, wherein we'll be covering the webinar with respect to Citrix Application Delivery Management Service. We have myself Avinash who will be hosting this webinar, as well as I will be covering some of the updates around the ADM service. Along with me, I have Sanyukta and Priyanka, who are from my fellow ADM product management team, and then we have other fellow colleagues from PM, which is Nagaraj, and then we have from the software engineering team Sugyani, and we have Mayur and Komal again from the product management team of ADS. So we have a pretty jam-packed, exciting agenda today. So first, I will start with the overview of ADM service for all those who are joining for the first time, to give them the glimpse of ADM service, what ADM service is all about, and what are the value props of it. Then followed by a quick look into what are the different updates which has been released since last time we connect, and then we followed with the sessions. The first session which will be covered will be by me, which will be around the dual NIC support for the ADM agent, and then improvements within the ADM around unified dashboard and role-based access. Again, this will be covered by me. And in the dual NIC support demo, so Gyani will be helping across with showing and demonstrating the usage. Then will be Komal, who will be covering the Citrix Development Forum announcement, where he will be talking about the development forum and the community portal which is coming together, and followed by the low touch onboarding on Citrix ADC instances using ADM Service Connect, which will be again covered by Priyanka. And the last topic of the day will be the DNS offload use case for Citrix ADS service, wherein Nagaraj will be taking us through the journey of one of the actual customer use cases, wherein they adopted the ADS service on how to avoid the DNS offload and avoid the DNS DDoS attacks. So we'll be talking through the details of those use case, and he will show you also what and how customer actually saved his environment with this implementation. So with this, let's quickly first talk about, for all the people who has joined first time over the webinar, and what the ADM service is. If you are not a user of ADM service, you can get started in very quick 3 steps. First, you need to create a Citrix Cloud account. The moment the Citrix Cloud account is created, you have to select the ADM service and click on inbuilt mode from the tiles of various services which are available over the Citrix Cloud. Once you get into this and you selected the inbuilt mode, you just have to copy the service URL and activation code and go into your ADC and get it discovered over the ADM. So it's very fast to discover your ADCs with the inbuilt. Of course, if you want to have want to utilize the advanced analytics and interested in pool licensing and all, of course, then you might need to have that dedicated agents which will cater those kind of use cases. So what the ADM service advantages are: first, it's very agile, which means it's very easy to operate. All the latest updates finds its place first and fastly into the ADM cloud service, and there are no high availability and DR hassles unlike you have on the ADM on-prem. So when we talk about latest updates, we cover everything, whether it is customer requested enhancements or bug fixes. With the bi-weekly schedule of updates into the ADM service, pretty much everything gets fixed and gets first priority onto the service when compared to on-prem. Then it has very faster time to value, which means you get started with few clicks and you can start experiencing the ADM service. As I demonstrated, even the discovering of ADCs is so fast. Then it has very state of art advanced machine learning capability, which means uh, it actually focuses on all the data points which are getting captured with the flow data, which is enabled for the applications, and it depicts the application behavioral patterns around various parameters, whether it is how its performance is, what are its peak lean usage speedage, what it is using. And then this ML is not only around the application performance, but even around the security insights and all, which will be talking in bit in the next slide when we talk about the various license types. Then it has a very low operational cost, which means in very less time and money and resources is required to maintain the entire infrastructure of ADCs using the ADM service. Then pretty much it supports any kind of ADC environment, whether it is over the public cloud like Azure, Amazon, GCP, or it is on-prem ADCs, whether it's a flavor of SDX, MPX, VPX, or a Kubernetes CPX kind of flavor ADCs. Everything is supported. So pretty much all hybrid environment is also supported. On any kind of application, whether it is monolith or microservices, everything is supported over here. So let's say you have decided to start with the service. So by default, ADM service, as soon as you onboard onto the ADM service on the cloud service, Citrix cloud service, will be given the express tier, which is a premium version, wherein pretty much everything is open, wherein you can discover all the virtual servers, all the network functions for those network functions for all the virtual servers, and with different type of virtual servers which you have configured will be available for you for the functions and as well as the reportings. There is no limit on the how much configuration packs you want to configure or style books you want to configure to manage or manage and push configurations over your EDC. However, the analytics is capped to 2 virtual servers, which and the data retention is only up to 500 MB or 1 day of data, whichever is lesser. So once you are satisfied with trying out all the capability of management and monitoring and with the 2 virtual server analytics, and you are happy to explore more, that's where the you have to go out for the full capabilities and start look out for the advanced license, which actually opens up the capability of licensing as many virtual servers under analytics as much you purchase. So you can now go for SDX, web analytics, app dashboard, ML-based app security analytics. Everything will open up, which is limited to 2 in the express license. And of course, in case or if your need of storage doesn't suffice with the number of virtual servers you have and what you have purchased along which you get along with the web licenses, you can always go for an separate storage SKU, and you can expand your storage requirement as much as you need. So with this, I will just take a pause and just try to understand, what kind of audience we have today. It will help us to understand for future and how we can curate more content. Next slide, where I will be, as every month, since our last connect over the webinar, I talk about what all the features which has been introduced or added into the ADM service or fixes which has been done. So in that same line, as you know, right, service, we have bi-weekly updates which come out. So we'll talk about what all has been added here. So under the management and monitoring, there are 2 updates or features enhancements which has happened. First, now you can recreate a cluster that is part of a Google Cloud Auto Scale group. And the second one is now you can view the agent status details within the unified dashboard itself. So no longer you need to go to the actual agent pages within the infrastructure to get all the details of agent. Again, in the infra, this is one of the much more wider ask from across the geos, which is the support for 2 NICs over the ADM agent. Now it is in GA, and latest ADM agent versions do support this dual NIC. Under the analytics within the app dashboard, now you have the capability to view details inside to troubleshoot the application issues. This may, as I told, right, we every month I actually make all the audience aware of all the enhancement which has been done, and we try to cover as much as in the current webinar. Few of which we might not find a place in this webinar will be definitely covered in upcoming webinars. So stay tuned. Uh, if you want to still want to read about it and want to understand, as you have been waiting for some of them which we might not cover in detail in current webinar, you can always go to this release notes section, which I will be sharing over the chat as well after a few minutes once my session is over, and you can go over all the latest, even the previous releases if something you have missed by not joining the previous webinars. So before we jump on to the today's and start today's session, there is one more poll which I wanted to present in front of you, and just trying to understand for my existing ADM customers on their readiness, if on their readiness to go to the ADM service. So as I said, right, this ask has been from across the globe, across various enterprises. Reason being simple, their ask was that 1 NIC should be facing the outside network, that is to communicate between the ADM service and the agent over the internet, and another NIC should be used just to communicate within the internal network between ADC and agent. Why? Because it's more of a golden standard where we want to our organizations want to segregate the external and internal networks or DMZ and LAN environment, and kind of it's a prerequisite for so many organizations. So seeking this as now this is in production. So how now it looks? Now you have an ADM service wherein ADM agent over 1/2. If you go into now the newer version of ADM agent, one interface which is 1/2 will be facing to ADM service, another will be facing towards accessing the used for accessing basically the ADCs. So just wanted to add a couple of points here. First, uh, in this example, it could be shown as 1/1 and 1/2. In your environment, it might say 0/1 and 1/1, or 0/1 and 0/2. Whatever the naming is, always the first interface will be used for internal communication, and the second interface should be used for the communicating to the ADM service. And the role of the interfaces is not interchangeable. Next few minutes, Sugyani will be showing us the interfaces on both the interfaces, which interface is used for what. So over to you, Sugyani, and help us customer show them what are the interfaces configuration and how it will look like over the new version of ADM Agent. So I will just make you presenter. Are you ready?
Yes, sure, Avinash.
Okay. Here you go.
Yeah, so is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay, so hello everyone. So here you can see this is my agent box, and here we can see it has been already added. There are two interfaces. First interface is 1/1 and the second one is 1/2. So for adding second interface, that we have to first add it manually, and this can be done through the Zen hypervisor. And here, as Avinash specifically mentioned, the first interface, it should be for ADM agent to ADC's communication, and the second interface, it will be for agent to ADM service communication. Yeah, so here for configuring our IP and all other details, we can go to network config, and here as you can see, earlier we had only parameters for single interface. This IP address, net mask, and gateway. These are it was present for single interface. So additionally, we have added for second interface also this IP address, net mask, network address, and gateway. So and here this network address, we can add multiple values, and it should be comma separated. So it accepts comma separated values here. So here, as we can see, the parameters IP address, second net mask, network address, and gateway. These are for additionally for the second interface that is being used for agent to ADM service communication. And also, it should be noted that these parameters for second interface, these are not mandatory. Like if we want to have single link ADM agent also. So here we can select a menu from the item, whatever which one we want to configure, and add the desirable values and save it. Yeah, and all the configuration, it will be like here, it will be saved in sdm.conf. Here we can see for the second interface also it has been added, and the information regarding network, it will be saved in network.conf, like the second NIC network and the second NIC gateway regarding details. Also, just to check if the web socket has been created, here we can check it. Like yeah, this is our source IP, which is 119.69. So here the web socket has been created. We can see it has been created to the destination IP, which is this 10.106.119.6. Yeah, so this only I wanted to show.
Thank you, Sugyani. Thanks for demonstrating it. I really hope this feature has been awaited for so many customers, and they would be, so guys, this is now available, and in case you want to plan it out, please plan it out and start using this dual link functionality. So now with this, I will again go back into the presenter mode, and I will share my screen. And we'll talk to the couple of small improvements which has came across the ADM service before handing it over the mic to Komal. So as I said, right, there are two improvements which are done. We talked about about these into the um enhancements which I covered in, what are features which has came from last month's connect. So here also again I'm capturing because these tools we are covering in this session. First is how you can configure the access policy for the upgrade job, and the second one is you can view the agent details into the unified dashboard. So let's see this here. First is the configure and access policy for upgrade job. So earlier the upgrade job was not part of the role-based access control, which means if a user is providing an access for the upgrade job, there was no way for the system admin to provide a role-based access or a custom access for a selective ADCs or selective instances to a particular user group or a user. Now you can do that because now under the access policy within RBAC, you have the upgrade job available. Whether you want to give view or edit capabilities is up to the admin. Once you can do that, let's say for example, I have given assigned a particular instance for a user A. So as an admin, when I create a access for that guy, and if I create this is the group authorization where I've given just these two instances. Now, if this user tries to go into the upgrade flow and tries to upgrade or select an instance to upgrade, as you see in the background, it will be only able to view that particular instance for which I have provided him authorization to execute. None of the other instances of your organizations, if there are 100, 50, 10, whatever numbers are, it will not show up here. It will be only authorized to this one. And even if there are other upgrade jobs which are available, if he tries to click, since it is not authorized to use for these, apart from these instances, those upgrade flows will not be completed and it will fail. So that's way you can product now and provide the limited access over the upgrade flow. And the next one is around the view agent details. So now within the overview dashboard, you have a dedicated section for agent status, which shows how many are available or unavailable, and there is a view details button. The moment you click it, it will open up this side pane and it will show you the list of all the agents, how many are down and how many are up, and what is the details around what is the current status and what is the diagnostic report. All the things will be viewed here. So this is some of the small improvements which has been done across the ADM agent, and I hope the customers who have been waiting especially for the upgrade job to create selective view for or provide selective instance upgraded, now they can go ahead and provide those.
Thank you, Avinash. Good
Yes,
morning, good evening. Good morning, good evening. I'm Komal Bharadwaj. I'm part of the Citrix ADC and ADM product management team. And today I'm going to talk about a new initiative that we've been working on. And this is something very exciting, and I want you to contribute and join this forum, this community that we have launched. So we've recently announced Citrix Developer Forum. Its link will be posted in the chat in a second. Yeah, it's there. So you can go and access this forum now, and you can become a member, onboard yourself onto it, and start interacting with the Citrix engineering, PM, and other folks who are behind the scenes working on all the amazing products that we deliver. So I'll just take you through this developer forum in a bit. So the forum is live. It's based on a SaaS service, and its URL is forum.developer.cloud.com. Let's just walk through it, what it looks like. So there are a bunch of important categories, such as application delivery, cloud, automation, microservices, security, and we plan to add a few more in near future, such as zero trust and analytics. And there are a bunch of articles on this platform which help you in understanding different use cases for using Citrix ADC and ADM to make your application delivery and deployment simpler. The intent of this platform is to show these use cases which are becoming more prominent in the new age development lifecycle, which involves automation, which involves DevSecOps, usage of ADC products on public cloud, and new paradigms such as Kubernetes or related tools such as OpenShift or Rancher, which are helping organizations move towards their microservices architecture. So this is a platform where you can come and consume content which is geared towards end-to-end use cases. So this is slightly different from our blogs and our documentation, etc., because on blogs you will find some very short summary about a particular topic, and blog is meant for slightly higher level announcements and discussions. But the developer forum is a deep technical forum where you can come, you can ask your colleagues to join, and I also encourage you to ask your team members in the other teams, maybe in the cloud operations team or the DevSecOps team or the SRE teams, to come and join and see how Citrix ADC and ADM can help you in delivering applications in a modern way. So we're just getting started. There are a few articles and some are related to ADM. For example, how to do stylebook automation using Nitro APIs, and then securing APIs, which again is done through ADM, and then autoscale on ADC on Google Cloud, which is again done through ADM. So there are a bunch of things here which are very specific to ADM, and then there are some things which are specific to ADC. But the whole point is that we want to come up with end-to-end use cases, and the article section shows these end-to-end use cases. As a community member, you can join and ask questions here. You can post your questions, and somebody from the Citrix team will, or maybe in the community itself, will come and respond to your questions. The login process is simple. We have kept it very lightweight right now. You can sign in with your social profiles, or you can create an account here. That's it. So you can just use these simple ways to get onboarded onto the platform. If you are a customer or if you are not a customer, you can join this community and start taking use of this. For Citrix, there are a bunch of other Okta-related login options, but for the general audience, for our partners, you can use these options to log in. So this is what I wanted to present. And coming back to the slides. So in summary, what are the key offerings of this platform? We'll really flood this platform with a lot of examples, with a lot of getting started guides, advanced use cases for both ADM, ADC, and Citrix ADS service. We are also coming up with exciting browser-based labs, so that without any infrastructure, you can just on the browser itself, you can try Citrix ADC, ADM related use cases. The solution will be provided by community and Citrix experts as well. This forum is for our existing customers as well as the emerging users of our products, such as cloud operations or DevOps or DevSecOps, Kubernetes platform operations. And as I was saying, the focus areas will be security, automation, analytics, infrastructure as a code, public cloud, and observability and analytics.
Thank you, Komal sir. The developer forum really looks very exciting. Looking forward to read the articles, upcoming articles. So hello everyone, I am Priyanka Yadav and I am part of ADM product management team. Today, I'll be giving you a quick walkthrough of the instance advisories that we have in ADM service, and also thoroughly talk about the low-touch onboarding using ADM Service Connect. So firstly, let us cover the instance advisories, that are upgrade advisory and security advisory. Now, if you're an ADM service customer, we'll talk about how you can leverage the instance advisory features to the maximum potential, starting with upgrade advisory. Now, many of the customers usually use ADCs that are on different releases or build, and they are required to check the end of maintenance and end of life for that particular ADC from the product lifecycle matrix, which is a Citrix published site. This is now a manual tracking and a manual check. There's a high possibility of missing out on this deadline. Here, upgrade advisory helps you by identifying the ADCs that are nearing your end of maintenance or end of life date, so that you can plan your upgrades accordingly way before you reach those deadlines. Customers usually are also interested in the latest releases that are coming up, and usually go through the release notes and check if they have if whatever they were expecting, like if there are any features or bug fixes that they can avail. So we also provide release notes against each latest release or build, and also identify ADCs that are not on the current release or build, so that you can plan your upgrade and avail your our latest and greatest features and bug fixes. Some enterprises want to have a preferred build, a particular specific build which they want to be on. So ADM also allows you to set that preferred build, and ADM will help you identify the ADCs that are not on the preferred build. So you can have one or more than one preferred builds, and after identification of ADCs which are not on preferred build, you can align your upgrade. You can align your other ADCs to your preferred version or builds. So we not only help you identify the ADCs that are not on your latest build, or that are not on your preferred build, or are reaching end of maintenance or end of life, we also help you upgrade those ADCs. So many of you would know we have a very seamless upgrade workflow, which allows to upgrade your ADCs in bulk and with very simple and few steps. And it will also reduce your key efforts or time which is otherwise required when you're manually doing it. So let's see how this looks like in the product. So what you see here is an upgrade advisory dashboard. In the summary bar, you can see a summarized version of all your ADCs and its information. So you have 9 ADC instances. It also shows that there are 0 instances that are reaching end of life, and there are 2 instances that are reaching end of maintenance. Also, there are 9 instances that are on older build. Now you can see that this particular link is hyperlinked. You can click on this, and you'll get the details of all the ADC instances that are on the older build. So here, what I can do is I can select the ADCs that I would like to upgrade, and click on proceed to upgrade workflow. So this is integrated with the upgrade workflow that we talked about, right? So it's very simple and seamless, and in quick few steps, you can upgrade all these ADC instances. Today, I'm not going to talk about this because this is not our focus. Let's come back to the upgrade advisory dashboard. So we also have 8 instances that are not on preferred build. Now, how to set this preferred build is you can click on settings and select the release, and select the builds, one or multiple builds that you would like to have as preferred builds, and save it. ADM will identify the ADCs which are not on the preferred build, so that you can take the decision of upgrading them to your wishful or preferred builds. So scrolling down, you can also see that we bifurcate your ADC instances into releases. Here, this is the release 13.1, and you can see there are 2 instances which are on 4.44 build, and 5 instances that are on 4.43. This bifurcation is done for all the releases. You will get, so this particular tab will also show you the end of maintenance for that particular release. Now, so as you see, you can understand that this red means that it needs your immediate attention. But currently, we do not have any ADC instances under release 11.1, which has end of life 30th June 2021, which has already been exceeded. So you do not need to worry. though there's for release 13.0, you have end of maintenance 15th May 2023, which will be nearing soon. So you would like to upgrade these two ADC instances, which are here under release 13.0. We also give you release notes against each release and each build, so that you can go through it and read it out and see if your expecting features or bug fixes are there in that particular build, and take the decision of upgrading your ADC instances to that particular build. We also see some of the icons here, like this is a ribbon icon. Usually our customers come and ask like which is the most downloaded or which is the most popular build. So this ribbon is going to highlight which build is the most downloaded. And so if you want to be on the most downloaded build, you can do that. We also have a star icon which highlights all the builds that are your preferred builds. So this is all about the upgrade advisory feature. Let's come back to our presentation. Next advisory is security advisory. Citrix usually makes sure that all its products are up to date and secure. But however, in unfortunate cases, if there are any vulnerabilities that are found, we proactively highlight it and mention it in our security bulletin with detailed identification and remediation step. But now the onus of going through the security bulletin and assessing the security posture of ADCs manually would be a really large overhead on the admins. So security advisory can help you with that by assessing the security posture of all your ADC and gateway instances. We use 3 types of scan for that. First is version scan, second is config scan, and third is custom scan. So any kind of vulnerability found will be identified with the help of these scans and will be highlighted. ADM also does system scan, that is, it scans all your infrastructure once a week and shows you the upgraded security posture every week if there and highlights if there are any CVEs that are found. So as a customer, if you want to initiate the scan, ADM also help you doing that by help of on-demand scan. So say at any point of time you want to have an on-demand or an upgraded security posture of ADC instances, you can do that with the help of on-demand scan. The result of the scan is shown in the form of impacted CVEs. So after the scan is run, you will see how many CVEs are impacting your ADC instances. We also give a reverse mapping in which we show you all the impacted ADC, and against each ADC, we highlight which all CVs are impacting that particular ADC. This would be clearer when I give you the demo. So we not only identify the vulnerable ADC instances or highlight the identified CVs, we also list down the remediation step and help you execute them. Usually we have one-step remediation which requires you to upgrade your ADC instances to a fixed build. But in case if there are two-step remediation, you are required to upgrade as well as run a configuration job on your ADCs. But do not need to worry on that, because we also provide you with a ready to go configuration template which you can use and easily run this configuration job on all your ADC instances at one go. ADM also acts as one stop for all the CV details. We have a CV repositories which lists down all the CVs that has been published since December 2019. We also give you reports on last 5 scans that were run, so that you can compare it with the last scan, so that you can compare the upgraded scan with the last scan that was run. So this is all about security advisory. Let's see a quick demo of it. Yeah. So what you see here is security advisory dashboard. Now, like we talked about the system scans, this summary bar is going to give you detail of the last scan that was run and when it is going to be scheduled next. Also, on-demand scan can be initiated by clicking on Scan Now. One thing to mention here is any kind of scan is not going to disturb your configuration or impact your resource utilization or in any way affect the traffic. So you do not need to worry. You can just run this scan and carry on with your work. So the result of this scan is shown under current CVs. So all the CVs that are impacting your ADC instances are highlighted here. So this is a tabular version of all the details. So you can see every CVE has publication date, severity, vulnerability type against each CVEs. So say if you want to know a high level detail of which all ADCs are impacted, you can hover on the ADC details. This will give you the IP addresses of all the impacted ADC. It also has detailed out remediation step. So carefully after reading it, you can go ahead with the remediation. Now I'll be selecting some of the CVEs to upgrade. So here the CVEs that I'm selecting requires one-step remediation, that is upgrading to fixed version. I have selected the CVEs and clicked on view affected instances. So this is the view that I was talking about. Here you get all the ADCs that are impacted, and against each ADCs you can get CVEs that are affecting that particular ADC. So now coming here, you can select your ADCs which you would like to upgrade as part of a remediation. You can select all or select multiple or select even a single ADC if you want, and then click on proceed to upgrade workflow. So again, this is integrated with a very seamless and easy upgrade workflow, by using which you can upgrade all your ADC instances to a fixed build. So this was about security advisory and how can you remediate the CVEs. Now coming back to security dashboard, we also have scan logs where we give out the detail of last 5 scans that were run. We also bifurcate them into on-demand or system scan. You can also download the scan report in form of CSV or PDF and look into the detailed scan reports. We also have CV repository, which is going to list down all the CVs that has been published since December 2019 to till date. It gives you detailed information against each CVE. We also have a security bulletin link mapped to it. Say if you want to have more further details, you can go through this bulletin link. So this is all about security advisory feature. Coming back to our presentation. So now this features can be leveraged by ADM service user, but can an ADC customer who is not yet onboarded to ADM service also leverage this advisories? The answer is yes, with the initiative that we have, which is ADM Service Connect based low touch onboarding. So as we see, the market is moving towards a trend where everyone wants a single management console and everybody wants a centralized management and control for all the instances. ADM helps you doing that with ADM Service Connect based low touch onboarding and fulfills the objective to enable a true controller-led vision by managing and controlling all your ADCs by a single pane. So this is the building block for this particular ADM Service Connect based low touch onboarding, where ADCs are auto connected with the help of below mentioned feature, which is ADM Service Connect and Call Home. So and if these features are enabled on ADCs, your ADCs are auto connected to ADM service, and ADCs will be sending some basic information in form of metrics to ADM service, with help of which we are going to curate an asset inventory and map it to your organization ID. So we'll give you all the ADC instances that are mapped to your organization ID in the asset inventory. You can go through it. We also curate very meaningful and key insights related to upgrade advisory and security advisory. There are other insights as well, like we also highlight the events that has occurred on ADCs and also give you other details. We'll see all this in detail in the workflow demo. So if after, this insights you can view with the, so we actually we send a product-led email where we give you an overview of all these insights and all this information. And if you're interested, you can get yourself, get your ADCs onboarded to ADM service, for which we give you 3 methods of onboarding. The easiest of them is auto onboarding. So with a single click, you can onboard ADC instances that have been connected to ADM Service Connect and are on the build that qualifies for auto onboarding. You can, with just single one click, you can get all those ADCs onboarded to ADM service. We also, so some of, if say some of your ADCs are on the earlier version which do not support auto onboarding, we give you a semi-manual a method that is script-based method. And also if you want to leverage analytics feature of ADM service or pool licensing or any other feature which requires external agent, you can opt for external agent based method of onboarding. So what is ADM Service Connect? It is actually a product which resides in ADC built-in agent and is enabled by default on ADCs that are on build 12.1, 57.x and 13.0, 61.x onwards. This ADM Service Connect helps to auto-connect your ADCs to ADM service, and it will be sending some limited metrics and events to ADM service, which is the same information that we collect through call home data. And with the help of this metrics and events, we curate a very customized asset inventory and insights for you. And if you want to leverage other features of ADM service, you can get yourself onboarded with the help of auto onboarding. So let's have a quick demo of this workflow. I'm actually giving this demo with the help of a prototype. So your experience and your content would differ from this. So this is the first touch point or the first initiation. You'll get this mail from the product. You'll have some generic data on the mail and the top insights related to your ADC and gateway infrastructure. Like here, it is highlighted that there are 18 ADCs which are with known CVEs, and also some insights related to upgrade advisories, like how many of your ADC instances have reached end of life or end of maintenance. We also highlight events that has occurred on ADCs, like SSL card failure. So we highlight them so that we highlight them as it is critical events that has happened on your ADC. We also highlight the ADCs that have been overly consumed and give some details about ADC deployment. Now, after seeing this insights, if you want to have more end-to-end details and more formative data and act on it, you can get yourself on board. You can onboard your ADC instances to Citrix ADM service, and from the workflow perspective, you can click on Get Started. So after you click on Get Started, you land on Citrix Cloud page. So if you have a Citrix Cloud account, you can put in the username, password. If you do not have it, you have to you have to create your own Citrix Cloud account and then sign in. So here I'll click on sign in. So this is the first page, which is the welcome page. It gives you an overview of what ADM Service Connect is, and gives you some informative. You can read through it and click on next. The next page will give you a preview of your ADC instances. Now here, as we can see, it is giving some insights related to security advisory, like how many ADC instances are vulnerable across which CVEs, and it gives you a little bit detail of the CVE and affected ADC instances. Now understand that this is just a glimpse of what a security advisory can do. I have walked through the security advisory demo and what other things the product can do. So if you want to leverage all that and have a conclusive detail on the impact of these CVs and act on the remediation, you are required to onboard your ADCs to ADM service. So similarly, we have other data as well, like we have information on upgrade advisory, we have information on recent events as well. So here you can see that there are 4 events that are highlighted, but ADM service monitors more than this, like way more than this, like 200 plus events on a regular basis, and also notifies you if you want. Anytime any event happens, it can notify you through email, SMS, PagerDuty, Slack, ServiceNow, if you want. We also have some details on resource utilization, consumption, and ADC deployment guidance. After going through all this insights and all this data, you can click on next. So this is your asset inventory. It will list down all the ADC instances that have ADM Service Connect or Call Home enabled. Here you can select the ADC instances that you would like to upgrade. You can select one ADC instance for the start, or you can select multiple, or you can select all of them if you want to update to ADM Service Connect. So selecting all, I've selected all the ADC instances. I'll click on next. So this is your onboarding page where some of the data are pre-filled, like it is telling you that we are using built-in agent to get you onboarded. Now here we can mention the username, password for the super admin of the ADCs, and so here you can see the bifurcation of all your ADCs that you had selected. So 10 of the ADC instances qualify for auto onboarding. That means with just one click, you can get these 10 ADC instances inside the ADM service. So I'll just click on start auto onboarding. And in few minutes, these 10 ADC instances can get onboarded on ADM service. Now, 8 ADCs do not qualify for auto onboarding, and we can have a semi-automated method to get these 8 ADCs onboarded, which is you can download the script. Yeah, you can download the script, extract this downloaded file, and run on any one of the ADC that has the network connectivity to other ADC instances, and copy this command and run it manually and locally in your system. And come back here and click on this that I have run the script or command locally, and then click on go to ADM. Now all the 18 ADC instances which you had selected have been onboarded into ADM service, and this is the manage instance page. You can explore other ADM service features and use them. So this is all about the ADM Service Connect low touch onboarding workflow. So as you saw, even if you're not an ADM Service Connect, even if you're not an ADM service user, we are giving you a glimpse into the major benefit which customers can get through security advisory, upgrade advisory, and key sites on the resource utilization and recent critical events. But this is just like a minor part of what we have to offer as ADM service. There is way more than all these features. So if you want, you can get yourself onboarded to ADM service. You saw the onboarding process is also very seamless, and with very few steps, it has very low footprint way to get yourself onboarded. And after that, you can explore the ADM offerings and the value propositions that we have to offer you. Okay, so these are some of the documentation link. So if you're interested and want to have a read on it, you can do that. I'll request Sanyukta to please paste this documentation link into the chat.
Hello all. So we have seen the CAD service or Citrix App Delivery and Security Service use cases in some of our previous webinars. So we have seen use cases like intent-based application delivery and application security. Today we will see a unique use case, that is the DNS offload, which we delivered to one of our recent customers. So this customer is a large furniture retail company in Europe. They reached us with a specific set of problems or requirements, I would say. They used ADC on-prem for their data center, like for application delivery and global server load balancing for their large set of applications. So they also had the ADCs are on their on-prem serve as an authoritative DNS server. First, so the main requirement was they wanted to offload the management of these external facing DNS servers. Secondly, they had a frequent problem of DNS layer DDoS attacks on this on their on-prem data center. So the security team mandated that they had to offload the DNS traffic from their data center. So with this, let us see how their existing deployment is. This is simplified for understanding. The real deployment is a little more complex. So basically, when their application users send DNS requests, it would reach to one of their data centers, and the DNS response will point to the data center as per the GSLB algorithm configured. And so basically, the application request would go to one of the data center and the response. So if you see, right, firstly, they evaluated several vendors for offloading the DNS queries to their on-prem data center. They tried reverse proxy DNS server, which did not serve their process. They still had issues with DDoS attacks. And they also wanted a service which can integrate into their API-based config automation. Also, they wanted a solution which is future ready for their cloud migration journey. So with all these problems, they came and so we started a POC in a free trial license of 60 days license, which we offer as part of CADS. And we were able to showcase the benefit of our service in this POC, and let us see what we did. So basically, we offloaded their zones to CAD service. That means CAD service became the authoritative DNS server, and all the DNS request and response is handled by CAD service. And then the application request will go to the data center, not just based on simple load, GSLB algorithm. As part of CAD service, we have a built-in intelligent global traffic distribution system, which measures like billions of real user measurement across the globe, which can determine the best possible data center that a user from his current location can access. So in terms of robustness or resiliency, we have 60 plus POPs across the globe. We have multiple Anycast providers leading and also integrated with leading DDoS scrubbing vendor. And also other support, other protection mechanism like rate limiting is in place. Our infrastructure is also provisioned with higher capacity than what is required, and we can observe more than 100x of sustained baseline traffic and also some higher spikes. With all this, and also I would like to highlight that in the past several years, this particular system has never gone down. The service has not gone down in several years, and only we have seen a few POP level outages, which can be seen at status.cloud.com in our thing. So this is the success story of this particular customer, and just to show the kind of response that they got from the security team. Within a day of deploying, they felt the value has been delivered. And if you see the comment, like generally we hear only negative, or only when something doesn't work, the security team highlights. But here you see that an active DDoS has been prevented to their data center, and they're pretty happy about the service.
So hi everyone, thanks again for joining this month's webinar and making out this extra bit of minutes with us, and I hope we will connect again next month. Just wanted to highlight one thing here before we sign off. All the questions which may not have been able to answer by our panelists at the given point of time, we'll take it offline and we'll reply to the individual question attendees, and we'll make sure that their questions are answered. And the last bit is, in case if you're unable to attend webinars due to certain reasons, or you have not attended previous ones, we have the recordings for all the previous months webinar for 2022 and 2021 available. As you see, the July month is already available here. And in case you want to know what has been discussed, which was a very AppSec focused webinar for ADM service, you can always visit and have a look into it.